All right, Joe Lenardi's going to join us in about 15, so this will be a little shorter segment, kind of reversing the end of the hour here. First Dibbs question today sponsored by Trantolo and Trantolo. Are we still impressed by an NBA player that can score 70 points in a game?
Man, Damian Lillard just did this the other day. He now becomes one of 8 people in league history to score more than 70 points in a single game. You would think that this would be like front page news. You would have a picture of Dame holding up a little note that said 70 or something on it.
It's unbelievable.
Defense now, the way we're scoring, the way we shoot threes. I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm not that impressed. I'm more impressed of guys in different eras doing it. And I know we can't compare eras in this league, but it's not the same of scoring 50 points in 1990 and scoring 70 points in 2023.
I'm still impressed that these guys don't worry about load management in the fourth quarter when I got 50.
Not that guy.
3.
Not that guy.
And I'm impressed that he didn't lose his mind that after the game he was actually blood drug tested where they draw blood from him. And he said, listen, that's the first time it's happened to him in his career. Most of the time it's a urinalysis test, but, he didn't go bananas about it. He said, listen, it is what it is. But at the same time, I think he is one of those guys that can play in any era. I think he can run the floor with anybody. I think he would have been fun to watch 20, 30 years ago. But I think you're right. The defense and watching some of these games, what they did at the NBA All-Star game, they have to worry about injuries, and they also have to worry about the playoffs. When you have so many teams that are getting to the playoffs now, I just got to qualify. Any way I can qualify, if we have enough healthy guys, we got a shot to go all the way. So to me, I think there's a different type of sense of urgency in the NBA, but man, 71 points is still 71 points. I don't care if you're in AAU, 12U basketball. It's still something to talk about and get the fans excited about. I thought it was impressive.
There's been a bunch of 50-pointers this year. Dame getting one of those as well. Our friend Jason Tatum's got one of those.
Tatum did it at the All-Star game, 55 in the All-Star game.
I don't know if this exists, too, of just like these max contract deals being such a go-to guy. I mean, everybody knows Damian Lillard's getting the ball. Everybody knows, like, clock's winding down. This guy's going to take it. And almost like you don't even have to guard your own guy because he ain't kicking it. He's going to take that shot. I don't know if there's an element of that either that gets him these points. There is the element of this guy stayed in Portland and was very loyal to this franchise, and they continue not to fill the roster full of talent around him, and that can allow a guy to score 70 every now and then. I don't know. It is impressive. It just feels like the scoring has gotten so out of hand in the NBA that defense cannot be found.
Right now, they're the 11th in the West, so they're just on the outside of the bubble to get into the postseason. So they're battling hard at 29 and 31. You got the Nuggets, Utah, Minnesota in front of them in their Northwest standings. But as far as the Western Conference, they're in 11th place. I think the sense of urgency is trying to make the postseason. But I love the dude for staying in Portland. So many people were begging him to come east, go to the Knicks, go to the Nets, go to whatever. And the guy, he stayed at home in Portland, and, he's just trying to build a legacy there. I'm sure he'd love a championship. And, man, there's so many teams in front of him right now out west. That's a tough conference.
I agree. I mean, he's just looking at it. Let's talk about the other big situation that happened last night in the NBA. The Lakers were down 27 points in the first half, somehow climbed back and beat the Dallas Mavericks.
You or Curtis sent the
Curtis
text. They're getting blown out.
Yeah.
And they were.
They weren't. And I checked out and, I don't know, an hour later, it's like, wow, look at this. Game, right? Look at this. And LeBron does roll his ankle a little bit, which is concerning because he's going all out, man. He definitely wanted to win that ball game. But the one thing I would look at is the Dallas Mavericks and how they blew that lead. And Luka, just some stupid pass all the way around. I think everybody's to blame there for the demise of that comeback for Dallas. But Golden State's going to get Steph back. They're in a play-in situation. Utah Jazz have completely taken a nosedive to where they were at the start, but still a good team. Minnesota Timberwolves, watch out. Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, I don't know if I want to play those guys in a play-in game situation. New Orleans Pelicans, I don't know. I think it's a ripe for the picking for the Portland Trail Blazers or the Lakers to get into a play-in situation. But play-in, Dibbs, play-in. Wake me up when a play-in team actually becomes a contender for the NBA championship. So might be much ado about nothing. Celtics did beat the 76ers, though, in a very good game over the weekend.
That was a great game over the weekend. And I agree with the LeBron situation. I mean, LeBron is a guy who's never not played hard. I mean, he's always played hard. It's Anthony Davis. I mean, he put up 30 in that comeback. And, good to see the dude out there playing. He's not in his street clothes, although, I mean, he's usually in his street clothes. We're just kidding. He's such a talented guy. I hate to say it's a waste, but it's a waste. I mean, some of these players don't realize that, like Karl Anthony Towns said, you don't know how much time you have, just not in the NBA, on the planet. And so to be worried more about load management and, can I physically make it through the playoffs? And you got to, first of all, you got to get to the playoffs. Second of all, what kind of team are you going to have if you guys haven't played that much together? I mean, it still blows my mind about Durant, Harden, and Kyrie Irving playing in like 4 years, 16 games together. 16 games.
They don't care about winning. They don't.
I listen, I can't argue that point. I don't know if it's about winning. I don't know if it's about branding. I don't know what you're trying to sell when you are playing, but are you selling out the guys when you don't play is what I worry about. I would never want to do that to my teammates. I know they're working so hard to win every game. I got to play even when I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't know if that's the mentality. I don't know if it's just 2023 that I'm screaming, get off my lawn, and I'm yelling at the clouds. I don't get it. And I don't understand why, when you have a God-given talent, can't teach height, you can't teach the agility and what and Anthony Davis has, why would you not want to bury people with what you own?
So true. And, his personal shelf life is running out. LeBron's shelf life is running out. So you're running out of opportunities if you're an Anthony Davis to win a legit NBA Finals. And I'll say it that way because a lot of people do not count the bubble championship as an equal championship amongst the others. That is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not one of those people. I think that was a tough one to win. Everybody else had the same opportunity, but the rest of the world is not going to count that one as much as they count ones from this year and beyond. But yeah, if you're the Lakers, if you're Anthony Davis, time is running out. Got to do it this year.
I think it's so competitive right now in the NBA. I think people aren't taking these real teams seriously. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't say the Milwaukee Bucks sold for $3.5 billion today.
I think that's a big deal.
I didn't even know they're up for sale.
Me either, especially after winning the NBA Finals last year.
Anybody know that was even
the Haslam's Flying J.
Wow. That is some...
Flying J gas stations around the country. That's what gets you the Milwaukee Bucks. That's
so the Browns owner is the Bucks owner.
Yep.
Not any longer.
But the 3.5 I think is very interesting because Ballmer buys the Clippers in LA, bigger market, for $2 billion. Yep. You tell me Milwaukee is $1.5 billion more than the LA Clippers. Now I understand what's in the neighborhood of the LA Clippers.
Right.
Amongst the Lakers, there's all that other stuff. For Milwaukee, you got to contend with the Green Bay Packers, which is not really in your community, but still in your community. And what am I missing here? The Brew Crew, the Brewers.
No, Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah.
Other than that, I still, for that market, $3.5 billion. I feel like the Haslam's overpaid by about $500 million, or maybe $1.5 billion.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get ready for the one and only Joe Lunardi, see how he thinks our UConn Husky men are going to look in the March Madness tournament. How far do they have to go in the Big East tournament to make that happen? Joe Lunardi from ESPN Bracketology next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell. Happy Monday to everybody. Buckle up. We got a nor'easter that's going to come in maybe tonight. Hopefully we can get Joe Fury on. If we can't, we'll listen to what he has to say, and we'll relay that to you. Kurt Kaplan on the ones and twos. We'll be right back.